Hold it. All right, everybody freeze. I know what you're thinking. Wait, but Mega Evolution was in that new Pokemon game, and it was awesome. Everyone was celebrating it. That one plant guy got a big belly. How could you not like it? And let me just say, yeah. Mega Evolution is my favorite generational gimmick of the modern games. Definitely beating out things like Z crystals and fucking big Pokemon.
Chocolate.
Ooh, this guy's chill though, he can stay. Mega Evolution as a concept is actually really cool, but much like the act of mega evolving your Pokemon itself, there are, some issues. But I'm not here to talk about the senseless agony of Mega Scizor. What I am here to talk about are my grievances with Mega Evolution, the flaws I see in its fundamental design as well as its execution, why I think Mega Evolution shouldn't return to the mainline games and should stay out of future installments. Like Mega Evolution, you're chill and all, like I respect you, but you're just not invited to the party, man. I don't know what to say. Yo, what's up everybody? Yo, G-Max me out, do that thing, man, do that thing. Let's start with one of the most widely discussed issues. The Pokemon that are graciously chosen to receive these Mega forms. When a Pokemon Mega evolves, it gains an altered design and a total base stat increase of 100, mixed and matched in any way. So it would stand to reason that maybe with this opportunity to iterate, you could elevate some unpopular or unsatisfying Pokemon. Like this guy. What's he do? What's his purpose? How is he gonna get a job? So with all that being said, how about we just take a look at the list of Mega Pokemon and see how Game Freak did? All right, let's see here. We've got the Kanto starters. Pretty good, pretty expected. Houndoom, perfect choice. Ampharos, that's a great one. It'd be funny if they looked like Prince Charming from Shrek 2. You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn. Baynet, Medicham, Absol, Mawile, Abomasnow, these are all Pokemon who haven't necessarily aged the best and are given interesting new iterations with Mega Evolution. Okay, let's keep going. Gengar. All right, I mean, he was pretty popular before, but I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt, right? That's fine. Gardevoir, Lucario, Dragonite, Tyranitar, Salamence, Metagross, Mewtwo. Okay. Discounting how cool these Megas are, did these Pokemon really need it? Were they really floundering in the stats or popularity department to warrant receiving these new forms? And like, yeah, I get it, they gotta pick some fan favorites to sell the idea, you know? But I feel like there is some kind of middle ground you can strike. A perfect example being something like Flygon, a super popular Gen 3 ground and dragon type Pokemon that got immediately overshadowed in the following generation of games due to Garchomp, a pseudo-legendary with the same typing who basically stole their whole flow. Giving Flygon a Mega Evolution would help balance the scales and give Flygon some much-deserved relevance and intrigue, especially since it's such a beloved design. Fuck no, baby! Let's actually not give it to Flygon, let's give it to Garchomp instead, and let's accidentally make it worse than the regular form so that nobody uses it and it's basically like nothing has even changed. Oh, hold on there, you little shit. I know this may come as a shock to some, so as consolation, we've decided to give Charizard a second Mega Evolution.
You what?
And Mewtwo.
You what?
Like, this is what I'm talking about. Sorry, that was a lot. The Pokemon that are getting the biggest buffs from this mechanic are the ones who don't need it. And this isn't to say that popular Pokemon can't get Mega Evolutions. Like, I could even see Gyarados, who is one of the most popular Pokemon ever, benefiting from a Mega Evolution, as they could finally become the Dragon type they were always destined to be. Like, their Mega Evolution wouldn't just serve the purpose of making the Pokemon stronger, but actually completing their design vision. That is assuming, you know, they don't turn into something weird like, I don't know, maybe a big blue shrimp? No! And they're not even a dragon type either. They're not even a dragon. I just wish that more Pokemon that were in need of an extra design iteration or stat boost received a Mega Evolved form. Like Starmie, for instance. You know, I feel like there's a lot of potential and direction that you can take from a design.
Oh shit! Oh my god, he has legs now! No, take it all back! I take it all back!
Okay, so I know I didn't do a great job of highlighting it with big blue shrimp, but usually the designs for Mega Evolved Pokemon are pretty cool. Did Aerodactyl just get covered in rocks and given a big chin? Yeah. Did Manectric look like it was fused with a foam finger? Also yeah. Does Mega Heracross look like an air conditioner? Well, that's up to you. But you've mostly got designs that elevate the intrigue or style of the original Pokemon. You know, these ones in particular I'm a big fan of. However, I do feel like there is an underlying issue to this. These interesting and well-rounded designs leave the original base forms feeling limp in comparison, especially in their absence. And I know, Peachy, are you seriously arguing these Mega Pokemon are too cool, so when they're not there, it feels like a downgrade? And I mean, like, kinda? I feel like it more so comes down to a flaw in the execution of this mechanic. Mega Evolution is temporary, both in-game and in its actual inclusion in the series. So in Gens 8 and 9, and to a degree in Gen 7, where Mega Evolution is largely absent, it leaves Pokemon like Glalie, Sharpedo, Camerupt, Sableye, and others to feel like they are incomplete. And that's because, retroactively, they kind of are. Like here, tell me how excited you are to use Glalie, for instance, if you know that Mega Glalie is just out of reach. You know, you probably don't want to use Glalie anymore. Not only are you like,
Fucking thing sucks!
but you're also like, I know this thing could be so much better if only its saving grace wasn't locked behind a generational gimmick that no longer exists. And so you're like, fuck it! I'm just gonna use Mamoswine instead. It almost makes me wonder if the Megas given to basic and stage 1 Pokemon would have functioned better as just regular evolutions. In the same way that there are trade evolutions and stone evolutions, maybe these are just another type of that, in which you gotta get like the Mega Stone for the Pokemon and then train on the mountain and win like 100 wild battles in order to evolve them. And then they can just stay like that permanently and maybe erase all the stuff about how they're suffering all the time, and erase Mega Gyarados. Because without the completion that these Mega designs bring to certain species of Pokemon, you're left with what is essentially just a bunch of C-listers.
It's Division 3.
Like Mega Medicham looks like it could just straight up be an evolution. Now, you know, I like them, but I'll get ripped in half by a gorilla again before you'll catch me with a regular Medicham in my party. Like, bro, you are not invited. Like, I want to be tooling around with Mega Abomasnow, but not even 2 generations later, I'm stuck with Dork Dinkus. It's not funny, it's a serious critique. Like here, hypothetical time. What if Togekiss was just a Mega Evolution who, like the rest, just got thrown out of the game a generation later? Not only would that be a huge bummer for people who liked Togekiss, but it would retroactively devalue the entire Togepi line by repeatedly failing to fulfill its full potential in future games. Whew, that was a tongue twister. It's like giving candy to a baby and then taking it and feeding it to your dog. Like, I'm actually getting heated. I'm getting heated. How do I turn this thing up? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that when you give Ampharos big, luscious, Prince Charming locks, and then you take that away, the only thing I'm gonna be left thinking is, yo, I'm on a roll with these SpongeBob YouTube poop edits. Like this video if you like when I slam every button in my editing software. Alright, let me preface this section by saying that I am not very good at competitive Pokemon. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. My teams mostly consist of Pokemon that I like and think are charming. No, not you! But I have dabbled. You know, I've been on Showdown. I made this one Sap Sipper, Hisuian Gudra, and Petal Blizzard Meganium team that I think I've won with, never. So just know that everything I say in this section is mostly from what I've gathered as a spectator and community lurker rather than as a player. Now before I start, Mega Pokemon aren't all bad. They open the door of viability for many Pokemon who otherwise wouldn't get there, and that's pretty cool. But the main thing I want to touch on in this section is the simple fact that Mega Pokemon are kind of annoying. I'm sorry, Scizor, it's true. Mega Evolution turns some weak Pokemon into viable off-meta picks with some usage. This much is true. But for Pokemon that are already powerful, it basically supercharges them, turning them into what is essentially just their pre-existing main archetype, but like a super-duper ultra version of it. I see this taking the form of 3 main types of Pokemon. Type 1 is insane utility Pokemon, who attract a lot of attention from the battle, whether that be through trapping, setting up or bouncing away entry hazards, and or just sponging a shit ton of damage. Type 2 are obliteration machines. These are Pokemon who, via their newly obtained abilities and stats, are specifically designed to...
Oh, that's real nice.
And finally, Type 3 This type is my favorite because there are only 2 Pokemon in it. The Super Saiyan version of the Guardian of Earth and a kangaroo with their baby. I shit you not, these are the 2 most powerful Pokemon evolutions who were so good that they nearly centralized the meta around them specifically. Rayquaza with their flying type close combat, their breaking of the must hold the Mega Stone as their item rule, and their stats that are higher than the god of Pokemon, and Kangaskhan with their and while it is fun to discuss and look at as an outsider, actually playing against these Pokemon is extremely frustrating, as you're up against archetypes that are already difficult to play against as is, now given fucking plus ultra, making them nearly impossible to take down unless you have a very specific counter. And that got me thinking, what would be my specific counter? I mean, I gotta play some competitive matches with Mega Evolution in order to, like, you know, get a good idea of what I'm talking about. So I just gotta find some Pokemon that will lead me to victory. Yeah, I mean, I guess that'll do. Get him, AC! Get him! Oh! Oh no. You're done. So with all of that being said, let's recap. Mega Evolution, in my eyes, is a solid idea with spotty execution in a few key areas. Its attempt at salvaging older Pokemon falls flat when considering the much stronger and more popular Pokemon that also get Megas. The inclusion of some new forms for Pokemon like Glalie and Mawile restrict them from receiving more permanent remedies for their middling capabilities, such as an actual new evolution or stat buffs, especially with the inconsistent inclusion and at worst complete lack of their Mega Evolved forms in the newer games. And the increased power level of these forms, specifically the ones given to Pokemon who are already powerhouses in their own right, makes for a competitive landscape that is over-centralizing and just kind of sucks! But if you like them, then that's totally chill, like I don't really care. What I do care about is this Charizard design, bro! Like,
What the fuck is that?
why did this get greenlit? It looks like a 7-year-old on DeviantArt drew this. He's got spiky wings, all black and blue with flames coming out of his mouth. He's a dragon type. Like, it's actually so...
Hey man, why are you so negative all the time?
G-Max Meowth?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, man.
Whoa, what's going on? Did I say something?
So if you don't like Mega Evolution so much, why are you even talking about it? Especially considering you seem to care a lot about what people think about you, man.
What is this, group therapy? What's happening here?
Could it be that you're trying to convince us that you're not just Zoomer slop? Yeah, what's up, man? We saw those YouTube poop-inspired SpongeBob edits you've been putting throughout the video, dude. That's that classic D1 Zoomer slop tier shit, bro. Zoomer slop, bro, it's so stupid.
You can insult me. You can insult my slightly contrarian opinions on Pokemon mechanics, but insulting my YouTube poop-inspired editing gags?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's beautiful. You like totally embraced it. Wow, that's amazing. I forgive you. I completely forgive you about everything. Oh, damn.
Wow, you did it! You made it to the end of the video! Since I Mega Evolved, I am in excruciating pain! So instead of talking, I think I'm just gonna sing instead- Wait, what the fuck? No, I don't wanna do that. Thank you for watching this video. Now I'm gonna go play Kirby and Riders and Cobblemon, because that new update dropped and now I can ride Mr. Mime. Dude, yes!